Womp womp. It is time to live up to the name of my MTGO account, the No Fun Police. We are going to be running some control. God, this is the deck. This is the type of deck that really got me into Modern and really got me excited about it. Just the ability to tell people no, don't do that. Stop taking those game actions and just kind of grind people to dust until you just end up in garbage time. Nothing beats that. You know, maybe you guys disagree, but I think personally, you know, nothing is better than just grinding your opponent to dust and just watching the light leave their eyes just a little bit. So we are gonna run through this deck. So this is pretty much the list that went 12-1 at the SCG Con, whatever that SCG Con event was. I think it was like a 10K or something. So this is pretty much the stock list. I made 2 changes to the main board just because I want to try out a new card. But first, you know, we'll run through the lands here. You know, typical lands. The big thing is we've got our Raugrin Triome and our Zagoth Triome as a way to turn on our 1-mana bindings, as well as 2 surveil lands. So a little bit of contention there on whether or not you want to go surveil, whether or not you want 1-mana bindings. But in the game, it's going to depend on what the threat is. If your opponent's not really presenting any threats early, you know, you go for your surveils. If they're starting to present, you know, a wide board or problematic permanence, you know, you go Raugrin into Zagoth, 1-mana binding, and just deal with whatever they've got. There's also the Hall of Storm Giants is kind of the late game finisher after you've, you know, worn your opponents down. You've answered their threats over and over again. They're grasping for straws. They're praying for the best top deck of all time. And then you just ship in with a big old 7/7 and really speeds that clock up of when and how many draws they get before they can, before they have to deal with it. Another one that's really fun in here is the Geier Sanitarium. Each player draws a card, then discards a card. That pairs really well with our Narset. Part of Reveals, each player can't draw more than 1 card each turn. So, you know, in your opponent's draw step at the end of their turn, after they've drawn their cards, you can just activate your Geier Reach, force your opponent to discard a card while you get to loot. So it just digs you deeper into your deck for what you're looking for, and it just slowly eats away your opponent's hand. It's like having a recurable Thoughtseizes that does not take 2 life. So that's the lands. You know, there's an Otawara in here. So just the typical kind of lands that you see, you know, as you're playing and as you're going through control lists and stuff like that. There's 2 Orim's Chants that I'm running. The original list was running 3. I think the 3 is good. I like the 3, but again, I cut one of them because I want to try Stock Up. Stock Up feels like one of those cards that in the late game, if you draw it and you have it, you are exponentially happier. You know, you're digging 5 cards deep. You're getting your best 2 cards. It's basically just that 3-mana dig through time that everyone keeps talking about. It seems like it's strong in an archetype like this where, you know, once you start to run low on stuff and you're, you know, getting close to that top deck mode, top decking this versus top decking Orim's Chant just feels so much better. I think it's just the place where the deck wants to be. I think it belongs in the deck. I'm trying to figure out what the spread and the split of stock ups versus the other cards. We got 2 Spell Snares, you know, deals with Psychic Frogs, deals with Bowmasters, deals with the Johnnies, deals with Malevolent Rumbles. There's just so many good, strong, powerful 2-drops, and having a 1-mana answer on their turn 2, your turn 1, if you're on the draw, is very strong, is very powerful. There's a 2 of the Tune the Narrative, which really is just here to pair with this Wrap the Skies. It gets you like a turn 1 2 energy, so you can kind of wipe the board if you need to on turn 1, or it lets you kind of stockpile and hold your energy back. Just while you get land, start answering stuff, and once your opponent starts resolving threats that are a lot harder to answer, you know, you've got that backup energy. You've got basically 2 free mana's worth of energy that you can put into it later. For Counterspell, what can I say? I like Counterspell. Counterspell goes real hard. Counterspell's real good. I'm a big fan of the card Counterspell. Days Undoing. So Days Undoing, again, pairs really well with Narset, where you either on your turn or if you have like a Teferi out as well. So Teferi, each player can only cast spells anytime they can cast a sorcery. +1 until your next turn, you may cast sorceries as though they had flash. And -3, return up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment to its owner's hand. So if you can like +1 a Teferi with a Narset and then just like Days Undoing in your opponent's draw step, they get rid of their entire hand. their hand's gone, they have nothing to do, and you've restocked your hand, and it doesn't end your turn because it's not your turn when you play it. Or even if even if in your turn you have to like Narset, play Days Undoing, your opponent's got one card in hand, like it's really, really hard for them to come back from something like that, especially if you've got a Teferi or even the Narset being able to like -2 to dig you 4 deep to find something else to handle their threats, to deal with their problems. As we talked about, stock up, look at the top 5 cards, put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom. So just get the best 2 cards in the top 5 of your library. It's just an awesome card selection spell, and it's a card advantage spell. So it fills in a lot of really good roles. It's seeing a lot of standard play, and I think it's good enough to see modern play. Force of Negation, just your either emergency, oh shoot, like, you know, you can pitch your stock up to it. You can pitch your Days Undoing if you have to. You can pitch most of everything in your deck for this Force of Negation to stop your opponent from doing whatever sort of like broken non-creature thing that they're trying to do. And it exiles it to get rid of it forever. The other cool thing about Days Undoing is if you get into the late game and you've used a lot of your like counterspells, you've used a lot of your like wraths or prismatic endings, or if you use a lot of your good cards and you need them back in, this shuffles them all back in, so you now have access to those cards again. So it's a really good way to just kind of restock yourself and put your good cards back into your deck. It also, if you do it on your opponent's turn, will go to your graveyard instead of being exiled. I don't know if that really doesn't matter here, but it's just a one thing to keep in mind. Then Teferi, you know, is kind of the glue that holds the deck together. Stops your opponents from interacting with you. It stops your opponents from doing anything on your turn. You basically just have to sit there, and your opponent has to just sit there, let you do whatever you want, counter their spells when you want, stop them when you want, and just say, you know, I'm taking over. I am the captain now. 4 of Solitudes. So the other cool thing, because of the way the deck is built, you get to have Kaheera as your companion. So you get to have the 3/2 cat beast, because each creature in the starting deck is an elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast, and it gives your cats, elementals, nightmares, dinosaurs, or beasts +1/+1 and vigilance. So Kaheera is a really good way to just kind of close out the game as you get into that garbage time. Instead of like trying to ultimate your Teferi or something else, you know, you can just start going beats on Solitude and gaining back life. You know, a 4 life every attack is pretty good. Also pitches using a good number of the cards in the deck here in case you need like an emergency exile effect. Lórien Revealed it's really an extra land. It's your 25th and 26th land if you need it. If you don't, it's just a 5 mana, draw 3 cards, you know, restock yourself, fill your hand back up, get back into the game a little bit, draw some interaction, draw some things to do. So it's a good overall kind of glue card. You know, it's a strong card, especially at the common level. And then Big Teferi. Boy, did I miss playing Big Teferi. Big Teferi was the control piece. It was the 2 of, the 3 of, maybe even the 4 of that control was playing when I first started playing Modern. And boy, oh boy, do I love this card. Getting to ultimate it feels so good. Getting to like tap out, play it, untap 2 of your lands, leave up like a counterspell, leave up a couple spell snares, maybe an Orim's Chant. Just so many good options, so many strong ways that you can use this card. Even getting to tuck something third from the top so you can, you know, draw a counterspell or find your counterspells for something that's already resolved. Very strong. Leyline Bindings, like we talked about, hits any non-land permanent, and it gets cheaper for your domain. So, you know, the more land types you have, the better the deck, the better it gets. You can get it down to a 2 mana binding without ever having to use your Zaggoth Triome, because there's like a Sacred Foundry and a breeding pool in the deck. But really, you know, you want to get to that point of like Raugrin Triome, Zaggoth Triome, 1 mana bindings, you know, 3 of them is pretty strong. Prismatic Ending, just a really good, really cheap, efficient way to remove creatures of up to 5 mana, or non-land permanents of up to 5 mana value, because you can make 5 colors of mana. So if you get to that point and you really need to start removing some of your opponent's bigger threats instead of like hitting a Ragavan or an Ocelot Pride, you know, stuff like that, you can use the Prismatic Ending as a way to deal with anything up to 5 CMC. And then Wrath of the Skies is just it's your cleanup card. It's your, oh shit, you know, get out of jail free card, your best board wipe, because it hits enchantment. So it hits all of like Urza Sagas if you're going against a deck like that, as well as creatures and artifacts. So it's a strong card. It's very good. Pairs well with the Tune the Narrative, but even, you know, a 5 mana destroy all 3 mana value or less, artifacts, creatures, enchantments is still pretty good. The thing to remember, it doesn't hit planeswalkers. That has come up in the past, and so I think you just want to kind of be careful of that. So we've got in our sideboard here, we're looking at our celestial purges. So our purges are going to hit pretty much everything of importance in energy. It's going to hit all of their red permanents, so their flages. It's going to hit their, if they flip an Ajani, it hits their flip to Ajani. If they're playing Goblin Bombardment, it'll hit that. It'll hit their Pyromancers, Fables, anything along those lines. It also hits anything that's black, so it's going to hit all of the Orcish Bowmasters, the Psychic Frogs, the Ketramoses, the Overlord of the Baelmark. So it hits. It's a very strong card because black and red are kind of two of the most dominant colors in Modern right now. I would say they're some of the strongest and some of the most dominant. So I think the purges are really good. The rest in peace, you just kind of deal with graveyard strategies. You just stop whatever they're trying to do. It's it's even pretty decent against something like Affinity, where they're trying to like play their Emery, mill themselves, start recurring their value from their graveyard. Kind of deals with a lot of that. Same with like Gorios, Yogg. So there's a lot of really good strategies and decks that it goes up against. The only thing to keep in mind is that like the Rest in Peace plus the Days Undoing shuffling your graveyard back in. You can't do that, so it maybe is worth it to cut the Days Undoing, but if we run into that situation, we'll try it in the sideboard here. Stony Silence, it's going to hit Belchers, it's going to hit Talismans in Eldrazi, it's going to hit the Relics in Orzhov, it's going to hit your Affinities. There's just a bunch of good enough strategies, I would say, in Modern right now, where Stony Silence, maybe in the future, swap it out, maybe run like a White Orchid Phantom or two, or something that deals with maybe like some of the Eldrazi lands. But for now, we're going to just try the Stony Silence. We're going to see how it all shakes out with that in the board. Next up, we've got 4 of Consigns. It's like I said in pretty much all my Modern videos so far, Consign is your best answer to just anything Eldrazi is doing. You're, especially with the new Ugin coming out, this Consign is going to be the little engine that could here. It is going to fight the hardest fights of its life every single time, and just pray for the best. So the Consigns, they're mandatory. You have to have a 4 of. And depending on how Modern shakes out, it might even it might even be that you start seeing a lot more blue decks because Consign is just so powerful. And this deck not having black is really tough because you can't run like Break the Ice and stuff like that. Like I said, it might be worth it to look at like, dropping the Kaheera for a couple of like White Orchid Phantoms in the side and just, try and beat down with those instead, because you can bounce them with Teferi and all that, but that might be something I try out in the future. Subtlety, really good to just get things off the stack. Anything that's uncounterable, creatures, planeswalkers, say you have a Spell Snare, but your opponent's playing like a Grist, you can just get it off the stack and, hope to have your counterspell or just figure out a way to deal with it on the next turn. So it's a good value card. There's a lot of like creature centric and creature driven strategies in Modern that I think Subtlety is going to start to see pretty good comeback. Kaheera, we talked about, it's our companion, it's our commander, it's our little buddy that we get to take along with us because we have just elementals in our main deck. And then Isochron Scepter, this one is fun. There's a couple different things you can do with it. You can like imprint like a counterspell, which is pretty strong. Having basically a 2-mana counterspell that you can use every turn, against your opponent's thing is a pretty good place to be. It also imprints the Orim's Chant, which, as an additional cost, when you cast it, you can pay a white. So for 3 mana, you can lock your opponents out of the game. They can't cast spells, they can't attack. So it's just one of those like very strong, or not very strong, but it's one of those like very good, if you can get to that point, in the later game, locking your opponents out, you get to take your turn. They can't do anything on your turn because by that time you've probably got like a Teferi down. it just wins you the game. You know, I think once your opponent sees a nice Conceptor with an Orim's Chant, it's pretty much GG for them. So we are going to take this bad boy, this control deck that is near and dear to my heart, that has been in and out of rotation of decks that I play. We're going to take it for a spin in a league, and we're going to see how we do. Pray for a 3-2 so that we can get a nice little 100 points, you know, and not have to pay for another league. But we will see how it all shakes out. And we are in here like swimweir. We are on the play. We get to reveal our Kaheera. We just get to do all of it, except have a good hand. This hand is just bad. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't cast any of our spells. This hand is a little... It's like marginally better. I think it's good enough where I can get my Surveil. I think I'm gonna put the Orim's Chant back. We're gonna grab our Surveil first. You know, with our Surveil, we're gonna use that to find a second land, a second blue land, ideally, and kind of go from there. So, you know, this is one of those situations where, you know, not knowing what our opponent's doing is rough. This is Bant. I don't know what this is. I'm confused already. This is the fun part of going into leagues, is you never know what you're going to see, what sort of, as much as I'd like to ditch this, like, I feel like I need to keep a Wrath. Now I can deal with their guy here. All right. So I'm finding all of my planes. We're just going to deal with this now. And then we're going to hope that I can convert this Spell Snare pretty soon. I hope that I find lands is really what we're looking for. We're praying for the land machine to happen. For once, we usually aren't big fans of our land findings. Yep, our opponent really wants these hierarchs. Okay, what is their plan? Is it toxic? I mean, I'd like to not have to pitch this to Teferi. I might feel a little silly. I think this is the turn I just want to pick up Kaheera. That way, if I need to, you know, I don't have to pitch my Teferi. Our opponent has 4 cards in hand, and I have no idea what they're doing. They have just all the dorks. They have just this has to be like poison or something, because this just has just so many dorks. Like right now, I don't really care that they're doing this. This is fine. It's just like it's a really, I don't know what they're doing. I'm confused. Maybe they're trying to like just raise this old growth troll. Sure. Okay, so an Otawara, I'd like to be able to play the Otawara, but I'm going to let them like attack with their troll, and then I'm just going to bounce the troll back to hand, kind of slow them down for a turn or two, and then be able to just leave up like a hard cast Solitude. Let's put it back. I'm down to just continue to Stone Rain, or not Stone Rain. I'm down to continue to just kind of like time walk my opponent, make them just continue to take the same turns. So as long as there are 4 more card types, okay. So they're like, I don't even know what's going on with my opponent here. No way did I just click that. Oh, misclicks for days. Oh, that's bad, bad, bad for me. Oh, I've really, really fucked up. Now I might just have to like pitch cast this Solitude with this Kaheera, depending on how much damage I'm looking at, but this is not where I want to be. Oh, so they don't get the Exalted trigger, but I take 7? That's fine. Oh, I really screwed that up. What are they doing for 4? Green Sun's on 3. Are they just going to go find another old growth troll? Yeah, they are. Okay. Now, a board wipe off the top here would be just absolutely insane. We don't get that lucky. I think it's just play this tapped, exile this, block the Keen-Eyed Curator, unless they try and like man up this lair. Do they just have all of the trolls? Are they hoofing? No, hoof doesn't cause. They're going to turn on their lair. I'm taking 8 down to 1. Sure. I should have hit the land. If I draw a board wipe off the top, it's very poor for me. All right, so now I think I'm just dead. This is not good. All right, well, I guess binning that board wipe was not the right decision. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's play here. Let's see what we draw. A Raugrin Triome is not going to do it. All right, so we are going to go. So this is just like a aggro, just aggro. So I think the plan is to bring in like the scepters, and we're going to just kind of, we're going to take out the force. And what else? What else? What else is bad? The pendings are probably fine enough. I don't think they played like any 3-drops. So we'll take the snares out for now. No purge. I guess like a subtlety is good. It's a flash threat. Not binning the board wipe naturally just kind of screwed me in the end there. But you know, we're gonna try and turn it around here. It feels like a matchup I should be able to win pretty easily. Just because the, you know, it's aggro, you know, they're just trying to hit me fast, you know, they're trying to hit me hard, and I think I can get around it pretty easily. I just need, you know, a couple of the right pieces. I need a decent hand. Let me reveal my commander. This is not a decent hand. That is actually a horrible hand. Hand is good enough, I guess. The plan is we're just gonna go start surveilling. Like, I'd like to find counterspell. Our opponent mulligan to 6. They've got a, yep. I'd like to get my bindings online early too, but I just don't think, I don't want another fucking land though. Not great, but it's fine enough. I also don't want to have to like pitch the Kaheera if I can avoid it. So I think the plan is like double surveil. All right, so they don't have a lot going for them right now, it looks like. Probably wait till, but I'd like to get my second surveil move in here. All right. I get it that you want me to have lands deck, but I need you to give me like castable spells. Or you can just continue to tell me to go fuck myself. Appreciate that. Disruptor Flute. Are they going to name like Counterspell or Solitude? Or Solitude. Oh, they could name Scalding Tarn, and that would just absolutely just poo-poo doo-doo on me, but I don't, there's no way they name that. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I wish I could find Counterspell. I wish I could find any spell, but we are interested in getting this binding going. So we're gonna go grab our Triome of the Zagoth variety. So we can, I could like Isochron Scepter imprinting the tune, but that just seems very poor. Endurance. I'm interested in slowing my opponent down just a little bit here. So my hand is it's working out good enough, even though I had just so many lands. Endurance on top. I wonder if they just hard cast it now. So they're going to go for the, what are they going for? They're probably going for, what's it called? Green Suns? Yeah, Green Suns for 4 is fine. I'm not stopping that. The run. Ooh, boy, oh boy. So can't be countered, hexproof, and regenerate. Yeah, having not found like any of my counter spells, I'm in not a very good spot. And also just, yeah, finding like nothing. Endurance again. All right, let's see. That's fine. It's exalted +1/+1. Let's see. I still think, what is my, the 7. I got everything I need to just draw maybe a... All right, so a Wrath. The problem is I need my opponent to tap out. I know their last card in hand is an Endurance, which I'm going to pay 5 mana to counter an Endurance. So now the problem is I don't really know how I deal with this Thrun, like actually. And drawing lands is not going to be a good start. Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to, I don't know what I do here. Because they just get to keep beating me down. I needed to draw this Wrath of the Skies the turn they tapped out. Could end my turn. So I've got 2 energy, so I need 2 more. Then my hand is just ass, but I don't know if this is the right choice, but I need something here. My hand is not doing me any favors. Hopefully I can get them to like tap out completely. Can they kill me now? Well, fuck me, huh? Son of a bitch. That was rough. I could not find shit. And every time I play this deck in person, it goes so well, but they just don't want to see control doing well, I'm telling you. The overlords, they know what's going on, they know I'm playing control, and they don't want to see us succeed. Us control players are being held down by all of these lame, mid-range, aggro, stupid decks. Ask me how I really feel. But, we'll see. Unfortunately, early in that first game, like I said, binning what's it called was about what screwed me. Binning the Wrath, and then just everything from there. So let's reveal a Kaheera. Let's see if we can have a little bit better game here. So I like the hand. It's got lands, it's got spells. Now if they lead on like a Ragavan, I'm kind of sad about it. What could they be playing off of a Flooded? Oh no, don't be... It's a Guide of Souls. Well, on the bright side, my deck does clean up energy pretty decently with those 3 Wraths. Pending is pretty good. So we're gonna Prismatic Ending. Let's get him out of here. No guide for you. And then next turn, we'll go Mystic Gate, hold up Counterspell, and find a Wrath. Okay, well, we are big gaming, big chilling. We are doing it here. Now they're gonna surveil. If they've been a Flage, that's tough. Okay, it's an arena, so maybe they flooded a little bit. I don't know. I am curious, but whatever they play does not resolve. Unless it's a Flage. I don't really care a bunch. I'm not really interested in you drawing like a bunch of cards. Now here's where we get to see the power of stock up, I think. So I'd like to go and tap my mana correctly. And let's just take a look at the top 5. Let's find something good. So a Counterspell and a Narset are pretty good. We'll put them back in any order. Yeah, so that Counterspell, being able to go like Narset into the Geier reach is going to be very strong. Being able to hold up our, Orim's Chant, Wrap the Skies, all of that. What could they have? If I get Blood Moon, that's okay. So maybe they don't have Blood Moon. I really hope they don't have Blood Moon. A Flage is fine by me. When they try and do it next turn, I'll just stop them. Let's see. I think the island is just better. I'd like to get them to commit this Flage for sure. And then I've got 5 lands. So like I can go Teferi, use the Orim's Chant, slow him down. Oh, yes. Oh, I love seeing an arena. Please exert it. Try and haste your flage. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm going to come. Don't really care about that. Never mind. Maybe I'm not going to come. I dashed Ragavan. I can't wait to... All right, so now we're going to pay 2 life. So if we tune, we can get up to X equals 3, but then we can't deal with the flage. So I think the better play is Teferi, uptick, draw. So we'll untap our we'll untap our filters here, then get him to kind of commit into the board more. You know, I know they've got the Ragavan. Yep, Teferi's down to 1. Honestly, like, I would like to let this resolve in Wrath, but I think it's just not going to work out well for me just because... Well, losing the... honestly, yeah, losing the Teferi, I'm fine with. Yep. That's gone. Second main. Let's go for a blue. Draw a card. All right, so now we've got 1 mana bindings online too, if we want, if we need. White, white, and 1. Then that lets me leave up counterspell. So let's go white, white, white. 1 more. And we're going to do for 3 mana. 1, 2, 3. We'll put this into play tapped. Because now we've got our Sacred Foundry. So we've got white, red, green, black, blue. So we are good. We are big chilling. And then now we just watch them like exile their whole yard, I hope. I mean, a Ragavan is probably... Sure. So they can't... Really not interested in letting them hit me with the Ragavan. I can't let them get my... Like, a Teferi off the top would just be absolutely backbreaking for me. So now we... I don't even know if it's worth it to, like, island cycle this Lórien Revealed. Big Teferi is good here. So we're going to go white, blue, blue, whatever. Uptick and draw. Wrath the Skies is pretty good. Then we're going to leave up. Oh, okay. It's just not going to register that I clicked my land. Great, great, great. Love that for me. I am thriving and surviving. All right, so they get to hit. So the opponent is playing this like very well. A flage. I think I have to. I don't want my Teferi to go. Because they can't make like a treasure. They can't make any mana. 1, 2, 3. Let us down tick to bounce here. Find our Solitude. We're going to untap 2 lands, so I could like tap out for Narset. Let's probably do it here. Blue, blue. There we go. So we're going to play the Narset. We're going to hope to basically just dig to Counterspell. Leyline Binding is fine. Yeah, Leyline Binding is pretty good because then I can like deal with their Flage. All right, this time I'm going to remember to click 2 lands this time instead of 1. So we will go here and here. So the plan is, you know, they've got 3 Flages in their bin. So, I mean, if I could find some sort of graveyard, hey, if I could find the good old, what do you call it? The Days Undoing, that would be pretty spicy. I don't have any energy reserves, which is unfortunate. All right, what are they? They're tapping a lot. Having a whole heck of a lot of mana. They're going to try and like haste something else as well. Yep, you got that. Where would you like to target? The Narset. Okay, so with the Narset, we're just going to binding this now. So unfortunately, I lose the Narset, which is tough because I was really banking on getting to hit him with the old Days Undoing combo. Do they have another CZP? Bro, this opponent sure is a guy, a dude, a buddy bro. I think I am interested in keeping my Teferi. The only problem is having to pitch this Solitude is tough. But I think just having both of these is pretty good. So we're going to pitch. We are going to hit. So that's going there. That's I'm fine for the Teferi to lose 2. So I can clean up my opponent's board pretty well at any time with this Teferi. We're going to plus. We're going to plus. Might as well just tune to get some energy. And then see what our opponent tries to do. I can go like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can go 5 and draw 3, or I can leave up my Solitude plus my Binding, which seems pretty. I think that's the better game plan, is to leave up my Binding. So I've got all the white that I need to do all of that. I am trying to just like deal with my opponent, and they keep coming back. They keep fighting. Stop fighting me. Just take it. Take your licks. And if they don't do anything super crazy, honestly, I might even just do a little Lórien Revealed. I'd like to untap this land. Could untap their arena. That would be fun. Lose myself the game. All right, now what is their plan of action? I have to imagine they want to get rid of like all of my Teferis and dudes. Yep, so they'll exile their grave. I have to imagine they're going to hit Time Raveler, which I can't do anything to stop that. So he's got 2 in hand. Oh, they're going to go for that Teferi. Interesting. So I'll gain him 6, which will be cool. They send everything in at the little Teferi. Little Teferi and at me. Do this correctly. So we'll go white, white. Filter a blue. Go like this. And like that. So we'll take this out. Come on, opponent. Let me binding your CZ, PZ, easy, cheesy. They have to be very discouraged about all of this. We're going to protect the Teferi. And go to gaining 2 life points here. Good, good, good. All right, we're doing well. 3 white. What are they playing? Ranger Captain? Sure. I mean, they can stop me from playing something, I guess. Are they going to like crack Ranger in my upkeep? You are more than welcome to crack your Ranger. That is all Gucci with me, my boy. I didn't realize that these decks were playing Ranger. That's kind of it's kind of cool. It's kind of really interesting. Maybe it's like some innovation that's come from that like green-white, like Birthing Ritual with the Gear Hulk. You know, that deck with, you know, is basically just like a mid-rangey you know, find your best option, your best thing that you could at that moment. No reason to attack. We're just gonna hold the line. Hope our opponent doesn't draw some like absolute heaters. But when they go to, if they go to crack the Ranger Captain, I'm going to shoot off this Wrath. Did they find another Peasy and a Johnny? Sure. With the everything resolving there, let's go and filter a white into white, white. And then I need just one more. Gives me, X is currently 1. That gets me up to 3. So we'll just blow it all up. I think they're making me play the full game just because they know that, you know, I'm kind of a slower deck, but we're just gonna beat them down, beat them to dirt. So we're gonna go 1. Let's go 2, 3. Let's pick up Kaheera. So I'm not gonna use him yet because I can't leave up this Lórien. So it's actually maybe better to do it this way and then just start attacking, clawing my way back, and then just. All right, we got there. We grounded them to dust over and over again. All right, so all of those are good. The subtleties, maybe even like these I would love to try and run the Orim's Chants, and because they don't have a ton of like interaction in that way. So let's go down to Force. Let's go down here. Is the Days Undoing really good? Maybe like 1 rest. Snares are good. Tunes are pretty good. Like, I like all of my cards is the problem. Maybe like 1 Teferi. I don't think they play a lot of instant speed. Like 1 Purge. And what is our last cut? What are we looking for? What are we looking to remove? I don't want to lose too many big Teferis. They draw a lot of cards. Maybe I go down like 1 more. What do they have? They have like, well, they've got a decent number. Let's go down to stock up. Once I get to the point where stock up is good, I'm like already winning. All right, opponent, what do you have for us? We have Counterspell. Our opponent is deciding to begin with 7, so I'll start with 7. The Ocelot Pride, huh? If I find a Prismatic Ending, fuck. They're going to get to go a little bit out of control. You know, I'm unfortunately taking my my little lumps here from this Ocelot Pride, but we're hoping they don't have anything too busted, which it looks like they might have something a little busted. All right, well, we are falling behind fast. Wrath the Skies. A Celestial Purge isn't going to do it, so that's not good. A Snare, always on time. So we're going to probably Surveil again if we can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so my life total is getting low pretty quick. But if I can stabilize and find like a Wrath, it's pretty good for me. But we will see. I don't need another land. Solitude, I can like Solitude, pitch Solitude. I think the plan is to just dig and draw some heat off of me. So if I show them a Days Undoing and just terrify them, probably. Might have to. And then just pray that they don't just dump some like crazy stuff out of their hand. I mean, they might have a discharge, but I'm gonna draw some of the aggro from there. Oh, they're just going all in at me. Okay. Are they hoping for the bombardment? Are they gonna play the bombardment and then just try and kill me? Static Prison. Gross, 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 gross and stinky. All right, I've got 1 shot. 1 time for the 1 time. Can we do it? Can we find it? Wrath off the top. Wrath? Wrath the Skies? No. We get to dig again, though. Wrath? If ever I needed a Wrath, it was at that very moment. All right, so what do I want to keep? What do I want to take out? I mean, I think the Purge is pretty good. Just another way to exile. I think I probably kept a bit of a suspect hand. This is the filter land actually makes this hand just so much better. I can play this tapped. I'm not worried about anything right now, but I do need to find 3rd land drop for sure. That is not 3rd land drop. What do I want to do here? I think I just take my actions. Let's just stop them from doing their graveyard strategies as it is, and then I can filter into like Wrath and or not Wrath. I can filter into like Prismatic Ending and a Johnny or something else. A Ragamonkey. Interesting. They only play. They shocked and then played one spell. Now this is the part it gets awkward. I'd like to deal with your monkey. I need to find third land. If I find third land, I'm in a significantly improved position. A Johnny, we're just going to wait. We're going to let them try and like kill the cat. Land. Okay. All right. All right. I don't know if it's like a stock up. All right. When they fetch at the end of their turn is when I'm going to pitch Prismatic Ending. Deal with the Ajani now because I just can't. I can't win through that. Like them flipping that Ajani is not good. Now the Narset is going to stay, you know, a little. It's going to stay at 1. Isn't going to get to continue to dig me. But if my opponent commits to the board a little bit, there might be some game in this stock up here. I wonder how many CZ Peasies they just have chilling in their hand that are just getting like absolutely shut off by my girl Narset. Oh, they're going to go for me. Okay, so they don't really care about the Narset. All right, that's interesting. I mean, I guess if they don't think they can kill it, there's no reason to try and kill it. A Flage, sure. Oh, they're gonna kill it that way. That's fine. If my opponent is flaging my planeswalkers and not me, I'm in a good spot. I have 5 in hand. I would like to not have to do this, but I need to find a land, and an Isochron Scepter is pretty good. So now we're gonna go get a Surveil, and then just Isochron Scepter. All right, all right. Now I do need, well, I can just blow up everything. I guess it's tough to want to blow up everything because I do lose my rest in peace. Well, you are, again, just always too late. Now, do I like Otawara bounce my, oh, can I do it this way actually? So if I play the Otawara, no, I think I want to, do I want to Wrath on 2? I think Wrath on 2 is actually just... So Wrath on 2 lets me... It stops all their stuff. I take 2 damage, but I lose my rest in peace. Alternatively, I go play the Otawara, imprint the Orim's Chant. I can cast it with Kicker and stop them from attacking me again for the rest of the game. I think that's where I want to be. I could also like pick up the rest in peace, but I don't think that's really a great option. So we're going to go 1-1... Now I need to just not fuck this up. Use Isochron Scepter's ability. Cast with Kicker. Choose a player. Now I can like Wrath on 1 and be okay. 1, 2, 3. That still leaves me enough to... Or it doesn't. Cast with Kicker. Target a player. White. I need to find like 1 more land. 1, 2, 3. That doesn't let me do it still. So I'm basically just digging for lands. I go 1, 2. Actually, what if I went 1, 2, Orim's Chant, and Counterspell? Let's use the ability, cast with Kicker, target a player, white. I need to find some way to... All right, we got there. We got the loop. We got the lock. If I drew a land too, like the opponent just never would have gotten to do shit. So, we are so good at the game, baby. Woo! You can't stop control. It's the best deck in the format. Alrighty, let's get into game number 3 here. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can run that high that we just had and continue to just clap up some opponents. This hand it's serviceable. In the blind, I'm not too upset about it because I've got like a 2-mana binding plus a Solitude pitch if I need to. The only thing I don't like is being on the draw here. A mountain. Okay, so we're going to get burn, so having this Solitude is going to be pretty important. So we're gonna probably not be able to okay, so 3-minute Teferi on top's pretty good. I think we just hold the line as long as we can. Second Goblin Guide, huh? Plus an Arid Mesa, so we're gonna Hallowed Fountain to hand and Zagoth Triome to hand. Okay. Our life total is diminishing quickly. Ooh, Rakdos, huh? Little Rakdos Bernie action? Okay. My life total is getting very low. And I need to start dealing with some of these threats. So we're going to go here. We'll play this. I'm going to binding one of these now. 8 cards in hand. I might just have to like pitch cast this Solitude because I'm going to have to discard to hand size anyways. They have 3 in hand. So yeah, I think this is the route we're gonna, because we're gonna have to discard anyways. We might as well just get our value, and then we're gonna play this Teferi next turn and just continue to uptick it. Yep, 3 damage. This Teferi will never get down ticked because I'd like it to continue to live. Unless I need my binding for something. If I need my binding, then we can do that later. But for the time being, we're just hoping to survive for as long as we can. Solitude on top is pretty good. All right, well, and we don't have to shock, which is pretty strong. Yeah, not having to shock in a land and be able to hold up that Solitude is going to help us out a ton. Hoping our opponent goes for like a 5-drop. All right. Things are looking up. Stock up's a decent pickup here, but at the end, we're just basically waiting for the end of their turn. Play our Solitude, start gaining life, start offsetting all of the work that they're doing or that they've done, because we are in Stinky Poop Town. And they can't do anything with the Teferi. I unfortunately have to counter that. We're going to have to see what happens, but I would have loved to have get this Solitude into play. But we're going to go tapped land, continue to uptick. And if I need to, like, oh, I could have stock up last turn. I forgot that I had the Teferi plus. Down to 4. We've got 1 in hand. 3. Oh boy, that's not good. Oh, I think I'm just dead. Yep. Son of a bitch. And I should have stock upped because I had the counterspell to live. Fuck me. I'm bringing in the rest in pieces. I'm bringing in those. I think I'm going to cut a force. I'm going to cut the Narsets. I can cut the Days Undoing. And what else do I need to bring in or want to bring in? I guess another subtlety, or a subtlety is probably good. 5-mana Teferi. All right, so we're going to do something like this. Unfortunately, I kind of played myself. I should have... All right, so this hand is good on the play because I can like deal with their turn 1 threat. Unless they cut all of their creatures, then I'm going to feel real silly. But yeah, what I should have done is I should have stock up. I could have found an answer to, I could have found my counterspell, which would have been pretty strong, but unfortunately I did not play correctly. So we are, so that's going to go away for sure. So we are, I think we're in a better spot already, but You're never in a really great spot against Burn. Burn is always just going to be doing so much damage so fast. So I need to get so they are the Esper. They kept a 1-lander. So we're not going to be shocking any lands in ever. A binding on top is pretty strong. So now the plan is to go like flooded next turn, be able to hold up the binding. We'll go here. We're just going to pick up our boy Kaheera and either get a plains or get a... All right, so our opponent kept a 1-lander, but it was kind of a heater of a 1-lander. I think I'm good on the Prismatic Ending. So I could play Teferi Honestly, I think the Teferi is just better. Just because this Teferi lets me untap my land so I can leave up like 2 bindings. If I need them. But if my opponent continues to burn me... All right. We got there. We got there game 2. Game 3 for all the marbles. We'll see if we can hold out, if we can stop our opponent, if we can slow them down enough. Now I need to find a hand that's got like some actual gas to it. This hand's pretty good. I like the hand because then I'm going to be able to turn off all of their silly 1-drops. I'm going to be able to... Yep, I'm going to take a little bit of damage here, but I will be able to deal with this Swift Spear. I hate having to do this, but we will, for 1 mana, deal with that, and then just play our lands tapped for the remainder of the game. Another Swift Spear, huh? Well, my opponent is keeping 1-landers, which buys me time. But I do need to find... Is my next land drop... I do need to continue to find my land drops because I do need this Solitude to do some work for me. Now I can either like Wrath on 1 or... Oh, they have a land too. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god. I'm just taking so much damage. All right. Well, now I'm definitely going to have to like Wrath on 1. Or like upkeep. They have just so much instant speed. So we're going to put a stop in their upkeep. We're going to kick an Orim's Chant. Target player. White. No spells. Now I might just have to do that again. Especially since I can hold up this counterspell. They've got 2 in hand. Do they have just like... Need my Surveil. Now I can go like Wrath on 1 plus hold up Counterspell. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Deal with that, and then I've got the old Counterspell held up. You need to hope that they just have lands. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, not stocking up in that first game was tough. If I had done that, I think I would have stabilized and won. Unfortunately, they had the action there. I probably on like the turn where they just like dumped a bunch of spells. I probably should have like Solitude pitched something and just dealt with it. But burn is a tough matchup. You gotta. it's you got to play very tight, very efficiently. So we're gonna see if we can get the 3-2 again, and hope that the 3-2 is gonna be good enough to or get the 3-2 to not have to pay for another league, because you guys know how much I don't like paying for leagues. And we are into game number 4. We're gonna reveal our Pokemon. Hand like this is pretty good. I mean, I've got Binding on turn 1. If they play like a Ragavan, if it's energy, anything like that, I can just deal with it immediately. Plus it lets me go like turn 3 Narset if I need to. It gives me, yeah, this hand gives me a lot of options and maneuverability in terms of what I can do, which is where you want to be when you're playing control. You know, you want to have your you want to have the options and the ability to kind of switch game plans and adjust as you need to. All right, our opponent has decided to keep a hand of 7 magic cards, so we're good with that. Even though I'd like to see my opponent mulligan, but that's just a little bit of a greed thing, or you know, something like that for me. So we'll see what they do. We'll see what they lead on, how they open up. But curious what they're going to be playing. Being in the blind, you know, we'll figure it out. All right, opponent. Is this more burn? Oh, this is hollow one, I have to imagine. Yeah, it's hollow one. Are they just going to dump out two hollow ones on me on turn 1? That would be super depressing. Okay, Blazing Root Walla. Okay, so they've got just the nuts. Now the question is, do I want this counterspell? There's 6 in hand. I have to imagine. No, I'm gonna, because I'd like to be able to play this Narset on turn 3. Because all they want to do is draw cards, so they just like, they can't. So we will see what they do, but I'm not feeling the most optimistic. And then I'm going to bring in out of the side, obviously, these Rest in Pieces for sure, Purges, and maybe like an Isochron Scepter or something. Or, yeah, I could bring in a couple Consigns as like a way to deal with their turn 1. You know, if they get turn 1 hollow ones, you know, it's at least something I can do. Maybe that's like a, if I win this game but then lose game 2, you know, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out all the options. So it's Grixis. Interesting. All right, so they're playing a Grixis. Okay. Oh, this is like the Death Shadow. Oh, they're gonna get back their guy. Ooh, this is getting stinky for me. We're gonna tap this for a white for sure. We're gonna take your frog. I can deal with the Vengevine later by like pitch casting. I could even pick up Kaheera if I like really wanted to or needed to. I think the best plan of action is to force them to have to attack the Narset with a couple of things. But if I find like a Wrath on 1, that would be pretty good as well. So we will see what we do. Can I go to my draw step, please, opponent? You got a crazy hold on my upkeep, and you're just like eating up all of your time. All right, that's not a great top deck. But since my life total is under duress, we are just going to get an island. We're going to down tick the Narset. I'll take a Binding. So Binding can deal with the Vengevine, and then I can figure out what I'm going to do about these Root Wallas. So the opponent's deck is kind of cool. Like the Grixis with the frog. You know, I don't know if they're running any like counter magic or anything like that, but the Grixis splashes, it makes it interesting at least. Yep, there's another frog. Yep, you got all that. So that's going to attack the Narset. All right. So they're both going at the Narset. That takes pressure off of me for sure, which I am absolutely always okay with. Now, I could like, maybe I go. Oh man, if I had fetched differently. That's super unfortunate. I think I need to. I don't have to pay 2 life, I guess. I do need to figure out how to deal with all of this. Yeah, unfortunately, fetching the way that I did actually like screwed up my whole plan. Because if I had one more white source, I could play the Teferi, like bounce the frog plus take the Vengevine. But I think I need to take the Vengevine because it's the most imminent threat on my life. And then we're going to just play the Narset again. We're going to keep running Narsets until morale improves. And we're going to take this Wrath of the Skies. Because I can just cast that for... I can't cast that. I can pitch cast. Ooh, God, taking that island right there actually is just like screwing up all of my plans, and it's not good. I need to hope that like this Teferi bounce like finds me a land, or else I'll have to like pitch cast the something to this Solitude. But yeah, I'm not in a great spot, I would say. Things are not looking good for your boy here. Oh boy, I have made grave mistakes. So they want to use their mana. So now my question, or my thought is maybe I hit this frog to force them to have to pump and put them down 1 mana. I don't know if it's worth it, but the other side of it is if I lose my guy here, or if I don't find a white source to be able to like force on, or to do this wrath on 2, I'm basically just screwed anyways. So what we might be doing is just praying for the best. But I'm definitely going to bring in the exile effects. You know, the spell snares are going to be strong. I'm going to keep those in because those hit the frog. Honestly, even top decking like a prismatic ending would be pretty strong. There's a lot of like really good options I have. I have to imagine maybe they just want to like faithless looting in their second main phase. Yeah, just flashback a monument to endurance. Sure. Now I need to find an untapped white source. Opponent's deck is sweet. I definitely like what they're doing here. Now all we need is to lose all of my important spells, and we're going to just go to the next game because I would have drawn the Mystic Gate. Nope. So we're just going to lose that one. So we're going to bring in some Rest in Peace. We're going to bring in some Purges. And what do I not like in this matchup? The Force, I don't think is as good. The Narset's really strong. The Teferi, maybe I can cut like a Teferi, and what else? Maybe like a stock up. I think this is a tempo enough match where I can't really afford to like just take turns off, like looking at using stock up and doing stuff like that. This hand, it casts spells. I don't know. Maybe this isn't the best keep, but I do get to dig. I do get to stock some energy early, which is probably where I want to be. So we'll see. But yeah, I was losing that game for sure. You know, my opponent could just, you know, ding me for 6. So yeah, the deck was sweet. So like the monument plus the frog and all that. That was some cool synergy. I just couldn't get out of it or get it. Having fetched the way that I did basically lost me the game, which is super unfortunate because, you know, I would have had everything. You know, I could have played the Teferi bounce, plus I could have also done the binding. So unfortunately, just fetching like an idiot cost me that game, but it's okay. We are going to probably have to go with the meticulous routes. We're going to do some surveilling. I'm not going to stop you. And if you put hollow ones into play and just like dong my face and just absolutely ruin my body, you know, that's a tough day for me. All right, so their fetch shot are gonna Thoughtseize. No, I can't imagine this deck's running Thoughtseize. Prismatic Ending off the top is pretty good. Unfortunately, we do have to shock, but that's fine. We might as well do this now in case they run like Bowmaster. All right, so we're finding our Teferis for sure. We're finding our Narsets. So being able to get this Narset down is going to be pretty good, depending on what I draw next turn. Because I'd like to keep them off of energy or off of card draw as much as I can. And it might even be something where I don't actually use the, what do you call them? I don't use the, okay, yeah, we're going to Teferi bounce for sure. Oh, do they just have like Vengevine plus Ruwala? All right, now I need to find fucking Jesus Christ. All right, now I'm fucked. This is not good. We're gonna, oh my God, my opponent just had all of it. Holy shit. Well, we need to find something. So we're going to Teferi. A land isn't going to do it. 4, 8, 12. I'm just fucking dead. Holy shit. I'm just getting fucking steamrolled. All right. Well, gonna have to buy tickets for a new league, and that sucks. Makes me super sad. I'm hoping to at least go like 2-3, but god damn, did my opponent just dumpster me. Been a tough match of the day, huh? I have to try something else next league. Maybe have a little bit better luck. You know, that hand was probably a mull. I probably should have been a little bit more aggressive with the mulligans, but decks I don't anticipate seeing is Grixis, Psychic Frog, Hollow One. So, you know, that's also there's also that plus Grixis, Hollow One, Psychic Frog, Monument. All right, let's see if we can just like scrounge up any, like even just like a little 50 pointer here, something to make this day worth it, or I'm just gonna be a real sad boy. Let's see. I mean, if depending on what the opponent's playing, I'm gonna keep this in the blind. You know, this hand sets me up pretty nicely for my good old fashioned turn one or you know, 2-man or 1-mana binding. So we're just gonna yield through this turn. Let's see what my opponent gets. All right, so okay, so they're playing this deck, which I have to imagine like it's a decent matchup for me. Like if they want to try and flash in their Felian now, I'm okay with that. Finding just every single copy of Tune is not ideal. All right, so if they go like a Felia, I'll put a stop in their upkeep. Yeah, so we're going to stop in their upkeep. I am going to Orim's Chant them so that they can't cast spells, because I don't have a way to deal with this Overlord that's about to come down. And I'm not super interested in like figuring out how I'm going to deal with that Overlord right now. The other issue is I can't like, are they just shocked for no reason? They probably have like a Bowmaster. Yeah, so I need to deal with the Felia, because the Felia can just like continually bounce like a binding if I have it, or I can just continue to draw my lands. Sure. Okay. All right. We're doing better. We're gonna counter probably the Overlord if they try and like cast one. So we're not doing anything in your upkeep, but we're definitely gonna be countering an Overlord if that is the game that they'd like to play. Recruiter. No, I don't. I think the recruiter value is probably pretty good, that I'm not really interested in letting them just like flicker that thing in and out. I need to deal with this goddamn Felia. Like immediately. This thing is, but they've also got held up. I don't need more lands. Now the problem is like going shields down here. I mean, I can't do anything anyways. I think I just need to find my cards to set up for next turn. But I have to imagine that they've got a protection spell. Now I've got some banked energy. I'm gonna take the Wrath because I can just like absolutely just destroy everything. So like even if they, you know, they can flicker out, they can do their thing with the Overlord, but I can get enough energy where it doesn't matter. Like I can just kill it all. And then the first thing we're bringing in is for sure gonna be, all right, so Flicker Wisp. Yeah, they're trying to get their surveil game going. All right, I see you, opponent. Pretty heads up play. All right, so they're attacking the Narset. Oh, they might try and like flicker out one of my lands, which would be kind of hot, because then I'll be down a land, but it won't really make a difference because I can still make enough energy anyways, where I can just like sweep up their whole board. They probably hit my, oh no, they're hitting their, all right, they really want that surveil value, huh? So I go 1, 2, and 1 and deal with like all of their board. Alternatively, no, the Teferi just dies. I'd like to get this Teferi going. White, 1, 2. Actually, nope, cancel. I can untap 1 land because I've already got the banked energy. So we are gonna do X is 1. We'll do 3 mana. Let's leave them a little bit scared. They might try and like Flicker Wisp you know, take out one of my lands or something. And if they do that, then I'm going to tune the narrative. If they've got that ephemerate. Yeah. Yeah, I think their plan is maybe to hit some of my lands. Or maybe they're that's smart. So that was yeah, that was pretty smart, flickering out the thing. So I give my opponent props for that. We are going to just like hope that I don't just get like dunked on real quick before I can get this Teferi going. But yeah, our opponent playing pretty smart. Now I would love them to just like blink out my Narset. That would be cool, but they won't do that because they're stinky pee pee poo poo heads. All right, end step, we are going to surveil. With the surveil trigger on the stack, we're going to dig ourselves one card deeper by casting a Tune the Narrative. All right, a Solitude is pretty good. A Prismatic Ending is pretty decent. They're tapped. The problem is that they're holding up just all of their mana. They've got 4. The odds they don't have an ephemerate are pretty high, but we're gonna take it, and then just leave up like we're gonna play the Teferi uptick. See if they've been very patient with their Orcish Bowmaster if they've got one. Because if they've got the OBM and they've just been so just patient with it, I'm going to be kind of sad. All right, let's throw down our boy Teferi. I'm going to uptake. The plan here is just kind of continue to keep applying the pressure. And if they like tap out for something, I'm just going to deal with this Felia and we'll see what happens. So yeah, this Felia it's like one of those like need to answer cards. Cause like once they have untapped mana and they can start like flickering their stuff, like it gets real bad, real hairy, real stinky. But we are going to untap both of our Meticuluses, Meticuli, our ridiculous Meticulous as some call it. And we'll see what our opponent has. An Aether Vial, sure. I can deal with the Vial on my turn. So we're just going to continue to draw cards. I'm going to kill their Vial for sure to get around Counterspell. Oh, they're going to blink. Oh, because they want to grow their Felia, huh? So what we're going to do is on my turn. Yeah, you can get your Vial back. I'm actually going to deal with I'm going to try and do it all. We're going to see what happens. But the plan... All right, so Leyline Binding is pretty good. So we're going to go Leyline Binding. We're going to see if they've got the protection for the Felia. I have to imagine they have the Ephemerate. But if I can get them to blow the Ephemerate... Yep. Sure, no target. Let's see if you've got second. I'm going to cast this now. If they have third Ephemerate, like I can't play around everything. All right, and then we play our land. We go white, hit their Vial, basically just stop everything that they're trying to do, and leave them with 3 magic cards in their hand. All right, so this worked out pretty good. Now, if I find like a 3-mana Teferi, I get to just pick up my Leyline Binding. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Well, I do. So, like, if they blink out my Solitude, I'm gonna block. I'm absolutely blocking this Felia. I don't care. This little doggy's got to go. But they're in a spot I don't really like. Like they're doing enough to keep me a little bit terrified. They've only got 3 in hand. So like I'm blocking with this Felia. I'm blocking this Felia with the Solitude for sure. And you know, if they blink it out, maybe they've got like third Ephemerate, you know, they're gonna like blink out the Felia or blink out the Solitude, use the Ephemerate when I go to target it. But like, you know, those are some crazy play patterns that they could take. I don't know what else they could have in hand, but I'm just at this point just trying to grind them into dust a little bit. Okay, so they're gonna pitch. Okay, so they've got Solitude Ephemerate. That's super annoying. Hate that for me. Oh no, okay, so they're gonna, oh, so they're just gonna gain me 3 life. Cool. Well, I still get to draw cards off of this Teferi. They've got 1 in hand. What did they pitch is the question. They pitched a Solitude to the Solitude. That's what's up. All right, well, this Teferi lives for a little longer, which I am okay with. I get another turn with my boy Teferi. Big T-Dog. Teffi boy, the hero of Dominaria. The Flicker Wisp, are they just going to blink out their Surveil again? Oh, they're going to kill my Binding? That's fine. I've got banked energy, so if I draw like my Wrath, you know, that's a pretty good draw. Sure, you can take that out. I don't really care. All right, if I could stop drawing lands, that would be absolutely busting. Okay, or I cannot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just gonna take a little draw 3. All right, so this buys me some time. So we're gonna put a stop in their upkeep. I'm gonna stop them from casting spells during their turn for a turn. Cast with kicker, target player, white. No attacking. I want to continue to let my Teferi live and dig me for cards. No attacks, no nothing, no nuts, no butts, no coconuts for you, buddy. Now, if I find like a board wipe here, I'm big chilling, but we'll see what happens here. My opponent is thinking long and hard about this sweet. All right. We're doing pretty good. All right, they drew a land anyways. We are going to continue to clear lands out of the deck because I keep just drawing lands. Sacred Foundry tapped. All right. I'm not joking, deck. Stop giving me lands. So help me. Counterspell is like fine. We are gonna deal with the Felia, and then we're gonna probably buy Kaheera. Pick up Kaheera using 1, 2, 3. All right, we got our commander, our Pokemon, our companion, our little buddy bro dude guy. And then we are gonna untap 2 lands. No effects. So now they have to swing both at Teferi to kill it, which I have to imagine they're doing. The Planeswalkers are just so nice because they just let you just, you know, absorb damage. They buy you so much time and so much life. All right, let's get this land out of here. All right, so I have like no lands left. This is every land. All right, so we're not drawing lands. Thank the Lord above. Let's go white into blue, into 1. Let's play the Narset. We're just gonna, basically at this point, we're just gonna try and like grind our opponent down to dirt. I wonder, all right, so if I find a Days Undoing, that'd be pretty banging. A stock up, probably good then. All right, so I can force them to split their attacks, which is pretty strong. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a white. Let's get another Tef going. Let us uptick, draw a card. A Time Raveler is pretty good. All right, so now we're big chilling. So I get to counter my opponent's spell. I've got the stock up to dig. They have to either kill the Teferi or split the attacks and leave me with the Teferi, which I don't think they want to do. I think their best hope and their only hope here is to probably deal with this Teferi, which then lets me dig basically 9 cards deep to get a Days Undoing or like a Wrath, you know, just ways to deal with their stuff. I think I am putting them into garbage time at this point. I don't know how much more they can do to get around this, but we'll have to see. So, you know, we'll take a peek at the sideboards. We're definitely going to bring in the Purge. Well, I haven't seen a lot of like black permanents from them. Like I haven't seen I haven't seen any Ketramos. I haven't seen any of their Overlords, but I'm definitely bringing in the Rest in Peace. Definitely going to bring in the Stony Silence. I think the Stony Silence is going to be really good not this 20 It's the Isochron Scepter. If I can like imprint under an Isochron Scepter, you know, they're, even though they do have like the Witch Enchanter. All right, where do you swing? How do you swing? Do you leave me with a Teferi? All right, so they're going to kill the Narset. Okay, so they are going to leave me with the Teferi, which is pretty good. I ain't mad about that. Now I can start to continue to just control this game. So we'll go here for... All right, we got white, white, blue. Play the Teferi. Let's bounce the Flicker Wisp, draw a card. Then we're going to continue finding lands because I love lands. I love, love, love finding lands. Okay. All right. Sounds pretty good. This hand is pretty good. Put them on the bottom in any order. We're just going to white, Leyline Binding, take your Witch Enchanter. Then I don't even need to use my Counterspell. Right, yeah, I don't even need to use a Counterspell. I can just let them like Flicker Wisp something. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6. So like, I'll just let them like Flicker Wisp something. A Witch Enchanter. Well, we have to counter that. Unfortunately. But we got this game locked up here. There's no real reason for our opponent to continue to play this game, but I think they're going to continue to play this game just because like control takes a while to win, so they're probably hoping to just like burn my clock down. But I think I've got like one fetchable left in my deck. We're gonna uptick to Fairy. We're gonna pay a green, a white, and a whatever. Play Kaheera. Go away. And then we're just gonna pass through all of this. Have up a double Solitude. Yeah, I think our opponent's pretty much just like, it's GG's for our opponent. We're gonna fetch in our end step. Grab our last fetchable cast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, come on. No targets. Green, white, 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 black, cast. And then we just start the beat down. All right, deck. Like, I'm ahead, but I swear to God, if you just continue to give me lands, I'm going to lose my shit. All right, we got him on a 2-turn clock. I could have like played this Lórien, untapped some lands, but like I think we're good. I don't think we've got too much to worry about here. Because I can just, all right, there we go. We got him. All right, so we're going to bring in the Rest in Peace in case they're doing like graveyard stuff. Isochron Scepters, I'd like to get the Orim's Chant under it. That would be pretty strong. The Force of Negation is not good. I'm never going to use a Force on like an Ephemerate. So I didn't see any Ketramos. I have to imagine that they have them. I'm trying to think how many snareable targets they have. Like I didn't see Bowmasters. I didn't see... Like, I saw Felias, I didn't see Bowmaster. Like, I didn't see a lot of 2-drops. I didn't see any Emperor of Bones. I wonder if they, like, drew poorly. I think I can cut, like, a Narset, a Stock Up, and the Fairies are pretty strong. What's my last cut? Maybe, like, a Wrath. Let's do something like that. I don't know if this is right. It's, you know, sideboarding with control is always tough. I mean, sideboarding in general is always tough, but I think I want to keep them off of the graveyard because, you know, they do some graveyard stuff. I want to, you know, keep them and then maybe, you know, keep them on this lock. So the hope is that I can get the Isochron Scepter lock going so that they can't. One, well, you know, the big concern is just like if they blow it up, you know, it sucks. But the hope is that I can get them on that lock. We're going to reveal our Kaheera. A turn 2 Wrath is pretty good if I need it. I think I'm going to convince myself that this hand is pretty good because I can go like Tune on turn 1, you know, be ready to Wrath if I need to. Or I even just like surveil. I guess it's going to depend on what they do, but I think the first land I'm going to play is the Scalding Tarn. So if they try and go for like anything too crazy, it leaves me the option to go like tune the narrative, and then on like turn 2 or turn 3, just wrap the skies for 2, kind of clean up their board. I have to imagine they want like an Aether Vial hand or something. Granted, everything just changes immediately if I draw like my first card and it's like a Prismatic Ending on their vial. We will see. Godless Shrine, they're probably gonna, okay, so they're not doing anything turn 1, so that makes me feel all kinds of warm and fuzzy. So we're just gonna leave up our mana. If they want to like try and sneak in like a Felia or something. So now we're just good to surveil. Attune is not really going to do it. Zagoth Triome. My only concern is the fact they're probably going to like Felia on end step. Now, if they go to cast like an Overlord, we're definitely going to hit the a White Orchid Phantom, huh? Let's go tune the narrative. I've got enough basics where I'm not like super worried about it. Okay, so they're going to turn off my bindings. So now the question is, do I go with an island? Yeah, I'm going to grab the island. If they want to like blow up my Meticulous, I'm fine with that because I'm just going to sweep up their board. I guess I should have maybe grabbed the plains, but that's fine. We're going to grab the plains. That's going to come back. We're going to clean up their board. They can continue to try and attack my mana base, but my mana base is like good enough where I'm not super worried about it. Like I've got enough basics. You know, my lands are pretty good. I've still got my Days Undoing. I'm going to pay some life. Wait. I only need 2, so I can leave up the snare. And then we're just going to blow up their board. They want to like ephemerate and hit my Hallowed Fountain again, they're more than welcome to. But being able to leave up this snare makes me feel all kinds of warm and fuzzies until they play like something that I can't snare. In which case I'll have to like pitch cast Solitude to Solitude, which is tough. Not where I want to be. An Emperor is pretty damn snareable. Man, we just had it all, huh? Our poor opponent. So let's hit a little surveil action. What's on top? What do I have? Counterspell is pretty good. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get to have it. Or I can take it off of the Narset, or do I just want another Wrath as like a cleanup? I'm taking another Wrath. I'd like to have the Counterspell, but like having an extra Wrath plus a card to pitch to Solitude is pretty good. Yeah, I'm not really interested in you having the Felia. You can gain some life, but yeah, no. Thoughtseize, sure. They probably take the other Solitude. I have to imagine, because they're probably trying to like resolve their Ketramos. Okay, so they're gonna take a Narset. Interesting. Okay, they're gonna Vindicate. Sheesh. I'm okay with all that. Now, second main, ooh, maybe I just want to like, no, they've got 1 card in hand. I'd rather just hold up this Solitude. And then like, if they have like another Thoughtseize, I'm going to make them choose between like, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to make them choose between taking my draw or taking my removal. Because I'm okay to just draw a bunch of cards. Yeah, that signals to me they probably got a Ketramos in hand. Maybe not. All right, no. Let us cast blue. Now, if they've got like Orcish Bowmaster as their last card in hand, okay, so they've got a Felia as their last card in hand, which is fine with me. Just continue making my land drops. Like if they don't draw an Ephemerate, like there's very few draws that they could have. A Recruiter is of course the draw that they get. Oh, fuck me. Just why? Well, we're gonna have to Prismatic Ending the Felia. Our op just getting to find all of it. Elite Spellbinder. So, I mean, that's fine. The Spellbinder, I can just like counterspell anyways. It's like, it's not a great spot to be in, that's for sure, but it's not like I'm not losing horribly. Like, I think there's still a decent amount of, so I'm actually down both of my board wipes. but just show me like an Isochron Scepter off the top. That would be so good. Oh man, oh man. Oh, they find a recruiter. Nope, a Flooded Strand. That's great. Love that for me. Love it. All right, so they've got a recruiter, so I'm probably gonna have to like counter the recruiter. You know, I've got enough mana to cast the counterspell. So they've got a recruiter in hand and they've got a elite spellbinder. So I mean, like if they go for the spellbinder, that's fine because I've got the mana to be able to cast a counterspell and I've still got an island left in my deck, which I don't fetch for sure. All right, so they drew a land. Yeah, you can have well, you can't cast the recruiter. So maybe now is a good time to deal with this. We'll get a little surveil action going. I don't think I've seen my second. Oh no, I've seen both of my surveils. Okay. We're getting low on lands. I'm hoping, but I am going to need to find a way to deal with this. This dude bro, they're about to just drop on me. A counterspell is going to do it. All right. All right. So things are turning around. Things are starting to peak up, starting to look happy. If I can just like deal with their Emperor of Bones is gross. Can't have them have an Emperor for sure. All right, I need to start drawing some gas. Now, unfortunately, I can't do anything to stop this recruiter, but maybe they just don't play it. Yeah. Yep, I can't stop that. I'm going to probably have to like Orim's Chant here next turn just to like slow them down a turn while I try and pick some tempo back up. So I'm starting to fall behind and I don't really want to be in that position of falling behind. A prismatic ending, like I can deal with the recruiter. 1, 2, 3. Let's just pick up Kaheera, put an upkeep stop, because I need to figure out how I'm going to deal with all of this stuff that they've got going on. Because we are drawing poorly now, fellas. Yep, you get a surveil. Yeah, it's getting rough for me. I don't like this position I'm in. Here we are. All right, a big Teferi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if we can start drawing some good cards. Show me a good card. Mystic Gate is not a good card. I think... Oh, wait. Shit. Balls. Well, we'll do this, white. So I've at least got a blocker. Unfortunately, the way that I tapped, if I had left up the breeding pool, I could have dealt with one of their... Yeah, Flicker Wisp is fine. You're going to flicker out your recruiter for sure. They probably go find their Felia, if I had to guess. This deck is good. It just, all it does is just like toolbox, and it just finds everything that you need. If they find a Felia, I'm going to exile... Yep, Felia, Exuberant, the Pupperino. All right, please not a land. You stupid son of a bitch. Oh boy. So I think the best thing that I can exile probably going to be the Flicker Wisp. Green. So we're going to deal with the Flicker Wisp because I think that's like the biggest threat to what I'm trying to do, which is not die. Nope, cancel. We'll untap. So I'm going to untap the Hall. Yep, you got a fucking Felia. I'm going to untap 2 lands. So like if they attack, I can just man up the Hall and just kill the Felia. Sure. Kaheera is down. So we are going to, if they attack, definitely just man up the Hall. Let's let you blink that out. Let's eat your dog. Out here eating dogs. All right, so you get to do the little recruiter thing. I need to like deal with this because then now they just go find another Felia probably. 1, 2. Oh no, all of their Felias are gone. Thank God. What could they be toolboxing and digging for at this point? Also ahead on time, which is pretty good. All right, a White Orchid Phantom. So they're going to try and just like blow up my lands. Oh, both of my Orim's Chants are gone. All right, well, that's pretty good. I could just like Orim's Chant with the counterspell. That might honestly not be bad. Tap my 2 lands that I just used. 1, 2. And then leave up counterspell plus Hall mana. So the issue is now like the White Orchid Phantom is like a must counter. I'd like to use the ability to counter the Phantom because I need my land to live. I can't have them destroying my Hall. A Witch Enchanter, that's fine. Honestly, like it did what it needed to do. So now if they attack in, we just Hall. We get to kill more of their stuff. All right, now I need to find some action. Like another Isochron Scepter is not going to do it. Oh boy. All right, we need to find something. We also need our opponent to continue to eat up their clock because we're playing like we're both very close. Like I've got to do this. If they have the Ephemerate, like I can't play around it. So they're not going to kill the Teferi, which is pretty good. Got 1 in hand. A Vial, that's fine. Of all the cards to have, the Vial is the least of my worries. All right, now things are getting good. Things are getting good in the neighborhood. All right, now we can go. Since I don't have any artifacts or enchantments for them to hit, I'd rather just draw the card. And we're going to find more lands, baby. I love lands. I love them so much. Lands are so good. You got it, bud. You take your game actions. Yep. All right, I'm running behind on time, but I think I'm in a position where I can just start to turn this game around pretty easily. Because like I don't really care if they put their Witch Enchanter back in play. It can't destroy anything. Now I just kind of hold up this Solitude. They're not going to attack. Cool. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's deal with that. Still an unstep. Let's find our Sacred Foundry tapped. Draw a card. A Rest in Peace is not really what I want. Now I can just kind of attack in because I get to leave up the Hall plus everything else. So Hall gets to eat a Recruiter if it would like. An Elite Spellbinder. That's fine. You can take a peeksy poo at my hand. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to deal with that Spellbinder, but like I've got time. I've got so much time. I would also love to find, did I cut the Days Undoing? I did not. I'd like to find like a Days Undoing. That would be pretty good. Sure. Teferi is exiled. What else would you like to do? 7 mana Teferi. So I get to draw 2 cards. Okay. All right. I think we got him. I think this is it. This is game over. Nope. We're gonna imprint the Orim's Chant. We're gonna uptick. We're gonna lock our opponent. All right, we got the lock. So every game we got the lock, we won. Every game we didn't get the lock, we lost. So maybe we should move some Isochron Scepters into the main. Oh, that would be spicy. No, don't do that. That would be so dumb. But I mean, it was definitely an interesting kind of league. I got run over a little bit quickly. First game, you know, just kind of played poorly. Couldn't find what I needed. Drew a lot of lands. Couldn't find my board wipes. You know, I'd been to board wipe at some point, which was like pretty stupid. You know, the third and fourth game just kind of got you know, run over by burn. There are a couple decisions that I made that I probably shouldn't have, like should have pitch cast Solitude, stuff like that. I was trying to be a little bit too cute. You know, I had the Teferi emblem so that I could like uptick, find a counterspell. You know, because there was a counterspell was literally my next draw. So just like little things like that I should have probably played better. I'm still, you know, this is the deck that I've played the most with, but still, you know, can never be too comfortable with a deck, or you make stupid decisions like that, or you don't play to your outs as well as you could. So yeah, this has been a full league. So this one we posted up as an entire league. Let me know what you guys think about the full length league versus you know, doing it into 5 individual games, because if you'd rather just watch like 5 games, you know, I'm fine to do that. If you'd rather watch a full league, you know, leave a note in the comment. I think this week's worth of videos, I'm going to try and do like 3 leagues and then 2 standard games, just to get some content out there every day. So yeah, let me know what you think of the 2 different ways of doing it. Let me know what you guys want to see, you know, leave some comments. And on that note, as always, have a great day.